cyberspace astronauts. Are you ready to be entertained with pointless jibber-jabber and senseless small talk? If so, you have come to the right place. It's the Todd Cook Show, starring Todd Cook, featuring Todd Cook, and with special guest, Todd Cook. Now broadcasting from his garage, here is Todd Cook.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. It's me, Todd Cook, once again. I'm thrilled that you have decided to join me once again for the Todd Cook podcast, coming to you from Wichita, Kansas. And for any of you out there who might be waiting on pins and needles, waiting for me to talk about my son's diarrhea, as I said I might on my last show, sorry, that's not going to happen. After I thought about it for a while and I listened to the last show, I realized I think I said enough about that I need to, so I'm not going to spend any time talking about that little issue that we had last week. And by the way, he's gotten much better now, so we think that the problem has been solved. So if you are really looking forward to hearing me talk about my son's diarrhea, sorry, I'm not going to do it. But I do have something else to talk about, and that is heartbreak. My wife broke my heart. And I'll explain that in a little bit here. But first, the music here on this show is brought to you by a website called pacdv.com, pacdv.com. And that's the website that I use right now for all the sound effects that you might hear someday, and the music and the commercials. Everything that all the music that you hear is from that website. And but someday I would much rather it be from local artists, from people from the Wichita area. So if you're a musical artist and you'd like to provide some music, maybe for commercial background music or for the intro to the show or for anything, send it to me at thetoddcookshow@gmail.com. That's thetoddcookshow@gmail.com. And I would much rather use your music than the music that's provided by this website that I am using. Later in the show, like I said on the last episode of the Todd Cook Show, I want to play music from local artists, and not just for the commercial background music, but actual full songs by different artists. And last week I played a song by a band that I am in called Good and Greasy. And this week on this show, I'm going to play a song by Scott Allen Nost. You can look him up at scottallennost.com. Scott and Allen is ALLAN. KNOST, scottallennost.com. I'm going to play that right at the end of this episode today, and so you'll be able to hear a song by Scott Allen Nost. But the first thing I want to talk about is the other day, I can't even remember what it was, but I was looking for something, and I went to the drawer, and everybody out there, we all have the drawer in our house. It's that drawer, maybe it's in your kitchen, your dining room, maybe the living room, or one of your bedrooms. But every household, I believe, has a drawer. And that drawer is when you have something in your hand and you don't know what to do with it, you put it in the drawer. It could be a battery or a receipt or an extra screw. You know, when you're putting your kids' toys together or something, you got that extra screw. What do I do with this? You put it in that drawer. Maybe a cracker that you didn't finish eating. And yes, I found a cracker in our drawer recently, but I have a 2-year-old son, so you can find food all over our house and places it's not supposed to be. But I just went through, I was looking for something. I can't remember what it was now, but I couldn't find it. And I got to thinking about all the different things that are in that drawer. And I kind of wrote down a small list of some of the things that I saw in that one drawer that's in our kitchen. There was batteries, of course. What drawer doesn't have batteries in it? There was a light bulb for like a night light maybe. There was some side snips and some pencils and some pens. There was a Stanley knife. There was sandpaper. Now, why in the world would I have sandpaper in there? I don't remember ever having sandpaper inside of the house. If I was sanding something, I would have done it outside in the garage or something. But somehow there was some sandpaper there in that drawer. There was a potato chip bag clip, a couple of those actually. There was a plastic knife. There were some wallet pictures. There was a screwdriver, staples. There was a guitar capo, one that I thought I lost, and there it was. little pieces of paper. I don't even know why they're in there. They have some scribbling on there, a few words, maybe a phone number, and they're shoved in there. But the only thing, I mean, it had everything in there. The only thing it did not have was whatever it was that I was looking for at that particular time. And that seems to be the case all the time. I hate looking for things, but I have to do it all the time. And in my house, if there's something that you're looking for, if it's small enough, there's a good chance it's in that drawer. No matter what it is, it could very well be in that drawer. So I usually start in that drawer, spend about 10 minutes looking in that drawer, and then at some point I give up because I can't find it. And then I'll go look somewhere else, and then a few minutes later I come back and I'll look in that drawer again. And I don't know how it happens, but like I said, I had pencils and pens and batteries and a plastic knife, a screwdriver. But if I was looking for a screwdriver, that screwdriver would not be in there. It simply would not be in there. And I think there's some little magical gnome that comes around and goes to that drawer and looks for things that I'm looking for, and it takes it out right before I get there. Because there's been times where I know for sure I need something, for example, a screwdriver or some tape, some duct tape or something, and I'll know I just saw that in there yesterday when I was looking for a screwdriver. The screwdriver wasn't there, but there was duct tape. And now I need duct tape, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to find that duct tape. And I go and I open up the drawer, and the duct tape isn't there. The screwdriver's there now, but the duct tape isn't. And this has happened to me many times, over and over and over. And there's a part of me that just wants to take that drawer and just, anytime I have something in my hand and I don't know what to do with it, instead of throwing it in that drawer, just throw it in the trash or something. Especially the batteries. I cannot tell you how many times I've went to that drawer to look for batteries, especially recently. And this is another thing that drives me insane. I can't quite figure it out. When it comes to the things that the adults use, our cell phones, or laptops, whatever it is, they all have rechargeable batteries. You don't have to go around looking for double D batteries to stick in your cell phone, or a 9-volt battery to stick in your cell phone or your laptop or anything. It's all rechargeable. My laptop's rechargeable. My cell phone's rechargeable. My electric razor is rechargeable. It's all rechargeable. I even bought this little speaker. It's a wireless speaker that works off of Bluetooth that I can use with my cell phone or my laptop. And I just carry that speaker around with me anywhere I go in the house or whatever, and I can listen to whatever I'm listening to. It's wireless, and it even has a plug where you can plug it in to charge it. You don't need batteries. Why can't they do this with the kids' toys? I'm getting tired of looking for batteries. I got a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and all their toys take batteries, and I'm getting tired of going in that drawer and looking and wondering which battery is good. It's like this horrible little routine that we all go through. Well, maybe this battery's good. You stick it in there. You have 3 batteries, and whatever this toy is, it takes 3 AA batteries. You stick the 3 batteries in there. The toy still doesn't work. So now you got to decide, are none of these batteries good? Or just one of them's good? Or 2 of them good? And the other one's dead? You don't know. And so you start going through this, flipping in and out, putting batteries in, taking batteries out. I'm tired of it. We need to get with the toy companies and say, please, it's time to catch up with the modern times. And instead of using all these batteries that we got to deal with all the time for our kids' toys, make it all rechargeable. Everything. And then my son got this little remote controlled helicopter that the helicopter doesn't not take a battery. It gets its charge off of the remote control, but the remote control takes batteries, which doesn't make any sense to me. So you got to put the batteries in the remote control and then plug the remote control into the helicopter to charge it. Why not just make the remote control rechargeable too? Wouldn't that make more sense? I think it's some kind of a conspiracy between the manufacturers of batteries and toy companies or something. But listen, Duracell, Ever Ready, or whatever the different battery companies that are out there, don't worry. If we just go to recharging stuff all the time instead of using your batteries, I'm sure there are a lot of smart people that work for you, and you can just get into the business of supplying rechargeable type batteries that go in cell phones and stuff. You probably already do anyway, but it just drives me insane. So that drawer that we all have in there, I need somebody to explain to me how in the world can I go to that drawer time after time again And every time I open it, it seems like there's a whole new array of things in there that were not in there before. It's a magical gnome. I'm telling you, he sneaks around your house and he does it. He's playing evil tricks on you. All right. Like I said, later on I got Scott Alan Nose coming up with a song called Two Hearts. Can't wait to listen to that. And I'm going to tell you about my taking my son to the movies. Had a good time taking him to the movies. But before I do that, I'm going to take a short little break here. You're listening to The Todd Cook Show, and I will be right back. Hi, folks. It's me, Todd Cook, and boy, do I have a deal for you. Do you have a business or a website, or maybe just an event that you want to promote, but you don't have the money to invest? Well, why not try to accomplish that right here on The Todd Cook Show? Free of charge. That's right. You can run an ad right here on this podcast free of charge. However, once The Todd Cook Show starts to pick up more and more listeners, the free offer will expire. So take advantage now. All you have to do is send your recorded commercial, which is 30 seconds or less, to me at this email address, thetoddcookshow@gmail.com. That's thetoddcookshow@gmail.com, and I will play it as time allows. So send me that commercial now and help The Todd Cook Show, and The Todd Cook Show will help you. Okay, I am back. That was a nice little fake commercial. I told you about that in the first episode. If there's anybody out there that hears that and they want to advertise their product or their website or whatever it might be, some service that they provide, you can do it right here on the Todd Cook Show. I told you about taking my son to the movies, and he's 6 years old, and he's at that age now where it's kind of on the borderline of you're always wondering, is he going to be able to sit through a movie or not? You know, when kids get a little older, they can sit through movies. You know, my 2-year-old, I don't think I'd even try it with him. And we've taken the older one, Johnny. We've taken him out to the movies in the past before, and sometimes he does good, and sometimes not so good, as far as sitting still and being quiet and everything. But I took him out the other day. We went and saw Wreck-It Ralph, and a really good movie. But anyway. And before I took him, too, I had to explain to him. I said, now listen, Johnny, listen close. We are going to watch a movie. We're not going to this place to see how much candy you can eat, because that's what he wanted to do. When he thinks movie, yeah, the movie is a good part of it, but he thinks candy and popcorn. And so I said, listen, this is not a see how much candy you can eat festival that we're going to. I'm going to get you a popcorn and a pop, and that's it. You're not going to get any candy. I said, I'm going to bring a couple pieces of candy with me, which I did. Please don't go to the Warren Theater and tell them that I've been sneaking candy in. But I didn't want to pay for all their candy. And so I just snuck a couple little miniature candy bars, and stuck them in my pocket before we left. And I went in there, and he was excited. On the whole drive there, he was like, "Oh, Daddy, is this the theater? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" And, all that stuff that the 6-year-olds do. But we finally get there, and we go inside, and we wait in line and get our ticket. And then we go over to get our small drink and our popcorn. And, of course, small is not small. Small is should be called extra large, to tell you the truth. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that they put so much ice in there, it'd probably be like a gallon worth of soda that you could pour in a small cup. But I got him a drink and a small popcorn, and I got myself a medium one, which was kind of probably a mistake too. And that's something else. The more they drink, the more chances he's going to have to go pee at some point during the movie theater. So I didn't really want to have to give him a big a drink there to drink, but. I gave it to him and had him hold on to it, and I held my drink and my popcorn, and I probably could have held his drink too, maybe put the popcorn underneath my arm and had, both drinks there, because, the instant you give a 6-year-old a drink, you got to know the chances of him spilling it are sky high. I mean, the chances that he is going to spill it are greater than the chances he's going to make it all the way through the movie without at some point spilling it. But I gave it to him. he held it in two hands, and I kept telling him over and over as we're walking, hold it two hands, and of course every few steps down the hallway on the way to the theater, and of course our movie was way at the back of the theater, so we had to walk half a mile to get into the right theater to see our movie. And every few steps as we're walking along, he would stop and take a sip, and I have to wait for him to catch back up. Then he'd stop, take a sip, and I have to wait for him to catch back up. And at some point we come to the second lobby area. We still have to walk farther to get to the movie, but there's a second lobby area. And I'd asked him shortly after we got there if he had to go pee, and he said no, but being 6 years old, you got to make sure. And so we got to this lobby area, and there was another restroom, and I said, let's go pee. We got time. We're not going to be late for the movie. Let's go in there, and we go pee. And I don't like bringing drinks and food into the restrooms. That's one of my pet peeves. It's kind of a strange little pet peeve I have, but I feel it's kind of icky. I've seen people go in there, in the men's room, and they'll sit like an open cup of coffee or something on the back of the urinal, and to me that's just it's just gross. I mean, there's little things floating around the air. That smell that you smell when you go in there, that's not your imagination. There's actually little particles of stuff in the air, and that stuff can go and settle down in your drink. And even when you got a lid on there, that little hole on top where the top of the straw, that hole, those little particles can get in there too. It just kind of freaks me out. And normally when I'll go in, like if it's just me and my wife, I'll let her go to the restroom, and when she comes back, I'll say, here, you hold this, and then I'll go in, because I don't like taking my stuff in there. And I used to get gruff about that in high school and stuff, and I'd go out to see movies with friends and stuff. I would never want to take my drink in. I'd either go before I got my drink or make somebody hold it. But I didn't really have a choice with Johnny there, and so we had two drinks, and he had his popcorn. So we walked in to the restroom, and before you actually get into the open area of the restroom, there's a little maze area that you got to zig left and then right, and we stopped there in the corner, and I had him set his drink down in the corner on the floor, and so I was standing there with my drink and popcorn and his drink at my feet on the floor there, while he went to use the restroom, and I stood there, and he got done and came back out, and I made him wash his hands and all that good stuff, and then he picked up his drink and said excuse me to a couple people that were there, and I started walking out with him right behind me, and then that's when it happened. I hear the noise, boom, shoo, and I hear him say, "Oh, Daddy," and I turn around, his drink spilled all over the floor, dropped the whole cup right there on the carpet, ice, I guess it was Sierra Mist, right there, big, right where everybody's walking in, and everybody has to step over it a little bit. And I was like, "That's all right, buddy. I'll let you drink some of mine here." I had this huge, large one that's actually this, like a gallon, and so there's plenty here. I'll let you drink some of mine, and so I just had him pick up his cup and the lid and the straw and take it and throw it away. So didn't even make it to the theater to watch the movie before he spilled it. And I knew it was going to happen. And Samantha, my wife, when I got home, when I told her the story, she was like, "Why didn't you just carry it?" And looking back on it, she's probably right. I probably should have carried it. But anyway, we got in there and we listened, watched the movie, and he did really good. I was surprised. So from now on, if we want to go to the movie and I want to take him, I know he's capable of doing it. He's capable of sitting still. The only issue we had was since he knew that I had some candy in my pocket, I didn't want to give him all the popcorn because he would eat it all in the opening credits and it'd be gone. So I let him, eat for, a minute or two, and then I would take it away, and then I give it back to him, and then I take it away to try to spread it out. Just I was worried we'd get halfway through the movie and he'd be wanting more popcorn, and I wasn't going to give him any. And if he starts getting restless too, that's a good way to keep him to settle down, help him settle down, is give him a little something, a little popcorn. But he knew I had the candy in my pocket, and so there were several times during the theater. And when a little kid's sitting in the theater, they don't realize that you got to be quiet. To them, the music's really loud, so they got to be loud if they want to ask you something. And they don't realize everybody else is trying to watch the movie. To them, it's just like they're at home, but the TV's really huge and everything's really loud. And so at some point, he looked over at me and just in a rather loud voice, he says, "Daddy, can I have a piece of candy?" And I was like, yeah, hold on. You gotta be quiet. And so I reached into my pocket and I, get him a little piece of candy and I give it to him. And a couple minutes later, once again, Daddy, can I have a piece of candy? And he did that like 3 or 4 times. I just gave him like a little piece of chocolate each time. And every time I have to tell him, you can't do it that loud. Don't be that loud. There's a lady sitting next to us looking over. But we had a good time. He started getting a little restless there towards the end of the movie, but I settled him down a little bit, and we had a good time. So I guess that's all for this segment. I got to take another short little break. Or no, I don't have to take a break. I got another story to tell you here before I play Scott Allen Knows. I'll save him for the very end of the show. I was thinking about doing it right now. You know what? Actually, I think I will. We'll go ahead and get this over with. This is a song by Scott Allen Knows. The first time I heard him was probably a couple years ago at the Napa Walla Festival down in Oxford, Kansas. I was about 100 yards away from the stage, and I heard him and started getting interested. And then I heard him play somewhere else live, and he's really talented. This is an original song that he wrote. It's called Two Hearts. So you are listening. This is Scott Allen Knows, Two Hearts on the Todd Cook Show.
Takes 2 hearts to hold this love. Find the words on both our tongues. I'll let you be the one to say, I know you've gotta get your way. 2 hearts hold this love. Takes 4 hands to build these walls. Same fall could make them fall. Hold me close here next to you. Slay forever like lovers do. 2 hearts hold this love. Takes 6 seconds to know it's true. Fire so hot that it burns blue. Every smile can cut you down, leave your soul dead on the ground. 2 hearts hold this love. No one can be what you need all the time. Everybody wants to know the end. Sometimes it's you who walks the line. Sometimes it's you who will bend. Takes 8 days of wind and rain. Prove a house could take the strain. Dance with me and don't be scared. Let the water wash off all your cares. 2 hearts to hold this love. Takes 10 fingers to walk this world. Hand in hand with you, my girl. There's no place I'd rather be here beside you while you dream. 2 hearts hold this love. 2 hearts.
All right, that was Scott Allen Knows with 2 hearts. Scott, his website is scottallenknost.com, SCOTTALLANKNOST.com. You can look him up on Facebook too as well. And he's a really talented guy. He plays all around Wichita. Find out where he's going to be next. Find out how to buy his CDs and stuff. Scott Alanos on the Todd Cook Show. I got a lot of other plans for the next episode. I'm hoping to play a game for you. Be the first game on the Todd Cook Show. And I'm looking forward to trying to doing that the next episode, which will hopefully air a week from today. So you want to check that out. The best place to go is YouTube right now, and look up the Todd Cook Show from there. And you can also go to the Todd Cook Show Facebook, and I'll have it posted up there. And if you're friends with me or whatever, at some point on Facebook, you'll see it being posted up there, and you can listen to it any time you want. I'm going to finish the show by telling you a story about heartbreak, which is what I said at the beginning of this show. I got a heartbreak story. My wife broke my heart. and what happened was last year around Valentine's Day, I think for Valentine's Day, I bought her. My wife watches a lot of movies. She enjoys just kind of sitting on the couch. It doesn't have to be some big blockbuster movie, just anything on the Lifetime channel or any of those other networks that play those movies like that, romantic comedies or whatever the case might be. I've noticed since we've been married that she's pretty easy to entertain with that stuff. I'm more picky when it comes to movies. If I'm going to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, in some cases 3 hours with a movie, I have to have some reassurance going into it that it's going to be good, because I don't want to sit through a movie and at the end be really disappointed and realize I just wasted 2 hours on this. But she doesn't have that problem. She's not that picky. I've had her walked in sometimes when she's watching a movie, and she'll start a movie, and I'll say, what are you watching? She's like, I don't know, but she seems to enjoy it quite a bit. And so for Valentine's Day last year, and this wasn't the only thing I got her, but I got her a DVD that had 8 movies on it, and these weren't all cheesy movies. Half of them at least were movies that I'd heard of, and they had stars in them that everybody would have heard of, and 8 movies on one CD, one DVD, 8 movies, and I thought she'd really enjoy that. And here about a week ago, I was going around. I forgot about it. I thought maybe she'd watch them at her own time or whatever, and because she probably thought I didn't want to watch them, and she was probably right about that. But so I thought she'd already watched it or whatever. And a couple days ago, I'm in the bedroom, and I happen to look down underneath a desk that's in there, and I look down, and I see that movie, that DVD, on the floor there, and I pick it up, and much to my surprise, it has not been opened yet. I was devastated. I was like, she hasn't even opened it. The plastic was still on it, and it doesn't matter that I bought this in the discount bin at Walmart. That doesn't matter at all. She should have tried to watch it at least once, and I told her about it. And she said that she had plans to invite some of her friends over, and they were going to watch it together, and just never got around to it, and then she forgot. But either way, I was devastated. Got her something for Valentine's Day that I thought she would like, and if she didn't like it, I thought she'd at least watch it and pretend like she liked it. But not only did she not pretend like she liked it, she did not even open it. It still had the plastic on it. So, ladies out there, you wonder why guys had trouble finding you gifts. That right there might be one of the problems. And I think I'm going to end the show there on that note. We've got to that half-hour mark. And so that's all I got for you today anyway. Like I said, on the next show, I'm going to try to play a little game. So you want to tune in to listen to that. You might get a little laugh. I might even have my wife out here in the studio with me to help me out with that game. And once again, anybody out there who is in a band or whatever, and you want to have your music on the Todd Cook Show, send it to me. Send it to thetoddcookshow@gmail.com, and I will do my best to get it on the air for you at some point. And that's all for this episode of the Todd Cook Show. Make sure you tune back in next Monday, and I'll have another episode up. And for most of the people out there that are listening right now, you're probably listening to this sometime around New Year's. So let me say have a very happy New Year, and I hope everything is well with you and yours. And look forward to doing the Todd Cook Show all through the year 2013. And that's it for today, folks. I'm going to get out of here. It's the Todd Cook Show, and I'll see you next week.